The internet and stupidity go together like peanut butter and jelly. But while it's important and good to call out said stupidity, it's also important to be wary of where the stupidity is coming from. A lot of cringe compilations and stuff, for example, have been used to directly target minorities of all sorts of different types, whether they be racial minorities, sexual minorities, or people who are neurodivergent in some way or another. With that said, hey everyone, my name's Christian Verstappen, and I have a lot to say about many things. I want to talk about Leroy and his green flag activity. So, I just honestly. Oh, does TikTok allow full screen now? There we go. Cool. Let's just let the video speak for itself. We'll get into it. On my feet, you gotta buy a sample. I don't give out tests. Kills in his head with the gun. I don't need no bullets. Had to tell Ghost calm down because he be on bullshit. Oh, just put a play together, say he needs some dog shit. You ain't really got no pay. If you ain't green, you're green. Blow it up, say something. No, my name's Trey. So, as we can see, we have this guy who's being, just an actual idiot. He's shouting, oh, this is green flag activity. He's just standing in front of, what are these called? Intersections. And harassing drivers. Kind of egging them on, wanting them to hit him, I imagine, so he can, make a big deal about it and get more clout that way. But to be clear, what this guy is doing is a public nuisance. It is 100% disturbing the peace. It is ridiculous. But while we should all while we should all be able to agree and understand that, this is absolutely insane, completely uncalled for, and there's no reason for this. Notice what's in the middle here. Without law and order, this is becoming normal behavior. Well, what do they mean by this without law and order thing? If we look at some of the comments here, we see a lot of people kind of just making fun of the dude, calling him a speed bump, and stuff like that. We're going to get to it in a minute here. Future t-shirt, I don't get what that means. Yeah. He's just an honor roll student that enjoyed performing on the street to entertain people. He just wanted to make people happy. We have this guy with a Blue Lives Matter flag. My man would have been on that hood at 55 miles per hour, being my ride or die. Please tell me there's a part 2 where he's, okay, until he makes the wrong one. He was such a nice child, didn't do anything wrong his whole life. What is this kind of thing making fun of? Or another honor student? What are these kind of things making fun of? He was the sweetest boy. Notice the kind of people who are saying this stuff, right? And what do these people, what are they getting at here? Well, some have been so, really? Can you not control F on TikTok? Are you kidding me right now? There's no way. You can't control F on TikTok? Oh, God, I hate this site. Okay, hang on a minute. Here we are. Wonderful community showing us again, showing itself again. However they meant to phrase this, right? And as this person even points out, if it was a Snow White or Asian person doing the same thing, you wouldn't be saying this. See, what this guy is doing is absolutely ridiculous. 100%. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's disturbing the peace. It's not okay in the slightest. However, it's got nothing to do with the fact that he's black. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he's young. Yet you'll have people using these kind of arguments and saying these things about people like this. We also have, if you just look up, say, for example, Leroy green flag activity. What are the comments we have here?
They got me fucked up, you heard me? Oh, Leroy, green flag, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where you going? Like, yeah, what up?
Yeah, so let's be clear. The problem with this guy is not that he's black. The problem is that he's a shitty human being disturbing people for internet clout for no reason. See, this is not an issue. This is not a race issue. This is a internet fame, clout chasing, and attention seeking issue. I think this girl actually says something about it too.
Could someone run him over? Like, please, someone, just somebody, run him over. And it sucks because no one can do nothing because you're clearly in the red light. And let me tell y'all, it looked like he had space enough to back up, no? Because I would have backed up. I don't know if he's locked up or he is or is not, but I'm waiting. Like, I'm seriously patiently waiting for a video of him getting beat up. I'm just waiting for him to pick a car, and then, like, he didn't expect them to, like, come out and be like, and then they're, like, beating him up. Yeah, I'm waiting for that video. Could someone run him over?
You don't get the joke. It's not a joke. This person is like, okay, so the people like enabling this stuff aren't any better. But the thing is, what I don't understand what this T-shirt thing means. But whatever the case, whatever, like, the thing is too, right? Even this person, WC Juliana, is not essentializing, which is good because there's nothing. Again, there's nothing what this guy's doing, but just be careful because, yeah, without. It is incredibly important how you handle yourself in public because you could be used to further a narrative for things like this. Now, this video didn't exactly pop off or anything. It's got 27.3 thousand likes. But I mean, even when you search Leroy green flag, you don't have to scroll far before you start finding stuff that has nothing to do with the guy. And what that tells me is that at the end of the day, this guy didn't really blow up. So you might wonder, why am I talking about this? Well, for one, 27.3 thousand is still a decent amount of people. 12.1 thousand comments, most of them making fun of him, which making fun to an extent is fine and makes sense. But what that is showing is that is giving this traction, and that is doing two things. One, it is giving him the clout and attention that he is clearly seeking here, but it is also giving more ammunition to those that want to demonize and essentialize all people that look like him, act like him, whatever the case. So, just at the end of the day, don't do this. I'm glad this didn't become some kind of ridiculous trend or something, but God, I remember years ago when I was in like high school, there was this knockout trend where people would just walk up to people and deck them. There was shit like that. There was this thing where people were licking ice cream at the grocery store and just putting it back in the freezer. All kind of really dumb shit like this. Or the milk thing where people would just take like jugs of milk, like gallons of milk, and they would just like throw them down next to people, and it would like mess up their like shoes and shit. And you might think like, okay, well that's not a big deal. It might not sound like a big deal, but it is, again, a public nuisance, and this kind of stuff can easily be used to essentialize the like entire group of people. Like again, we had that one dude who said, once again they're showing us their culture. And again, you have some of these other people, like the guy with the Blue Lives Matter flag and all these other people that were, what are they making fun of here with this? What are they referencing with the he was such a nice child? Well, obviously, they're referencing the concept where, we have somebody that has been a not a martyr, but has been a victim of a tragic event, like the kid who was shot for trying to get a basketball back, or maybe a baseball, whatever it was, from a neighbor in his own neighborhood, or that guy that recently was, let's be honest, murdered in cold blood in a subway station. Let me find that guy. Who was the he was like a Michael Jackson impersonator. What was his name? Do we not have his Jordan Neely? That's right. Yeah, and the event that happened with that was essentially where, yeah, he was being belligerent. He was being kind of a dick, but he had some kind of mental health issue. Not that that makes being belligerent okay, but the person like put him in a chokehold. I mean, if you want to see the video, you want to see what happened. By all means, I can barely stomach. Obviously, I can't show it, but the man was murdered. And while that didn't happen, and I hope it doesn't happen to Leroy and his green flag activity, yes, it is extremely annoying. He's a public nuisance, and he needs to stop what he's doing, 100%. But calling for and cheering for his death or injury, I think is just absolutely ridiculous. I want to say that, the best hope is that he would be arrested, but we know how that tends to go. So I wouldn't say that that's a good idea either. What I would say instead is the best thing is probably what happened for what he did to just kind of fail as far as gaining attention goes, and for him to just stop doing it because it's not getting the attention he wanted it to get. Anyway, at the end of the day, obviously, don't do this shit. If this kind of stuff becomes like if anything, being a public nuisance, if you have to do that to get clout, or you have to be a public nuisance, you want to be a public nuisance to, I don't know, it's some kind of like TikTok trend or some other like social media trend, just don't do it. It's fucked up. It's wrong. It hurts people. It could end up getting you hurt. Like, God, what was that thing a while ago where these people were like harassing this janitor at a grocery store, and once the guy went back on the people who were harassing him, they ran away. And they go, "Oh, it was just a prank, just a prank." You know the meme, right? It was just a prank, bro. Yeah, well, that kind of thing will happen with these people. It's the whole fuck around and find out thing. While I hope the guy doesn't have to find out, he needs to stop fucking around. And anybody that thinks about doing things similar to this, don't. As always, though, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Follow me on social media for more. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like. And if not, I hope you find something you do like. Later, guys. Peace and love.